Jaren, competing for the starting quarterback's job is stress enough and a life-changing experience, let alone having a baby in July with Bree, baby Jada, your new daughter, first kid. How is life right now as you navigate these two important things?
It's fun, man. It's tough trying to, keep everyone happy on football and the wife, of course. But, I've always juggled several things at a time when it comes to sports. So it's been fun, man. Being able to come play football with the guys every day and then go home to my beautiful wife and my baby. So it's, greatest blessing I could ask for. It's a good time.
That's awesome. Nice shirt, by the way. You got to earn that $1,000, right?
Hey, man. Got to earn it.
Okay, Dallin Holker just told the media that if he were to have, he were asked about, a foursome in golf of guys, and he said he might invite you. Are you a pretty good golfer?
I dabble, man. I dabble. I got to have some way to make business in the future, so I try to work on that golf game.
Quarterbacks have to be good at golf because you get invited to these tournaments late, right? Like Robbie Bosco and these guys, they all got to play.
Part of the territory, absolutely.
How's camp been for you? Obviously, it's a different kind of pressure. Last year, you were a little banged up, didn't end up dressing for the games. What's this camp like as you try and be the guy?
Same as any other. I've said it before. It's just looking forward to the first game. Preparing as if every day you're in Vegas, getting ready for Arizona. So that's been my mindset. It's just made everything more game-like, made everything come faster, and so it's been a good couple of weeks to get better and just prepare for that first game.
On media day, new offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick, he's been calling the plays for a minute since 2019 for the majority of the time, but now the OC fully. He said if Jaren is healthy, he'll be hard to beat. So are you healthy?
I'm healthy. I'm practicing. So
you'll be hard to beat then, apparently. Okay, let's walk through this. Let's talk about your two compatriots that you're competing with. What do Baylor and Jacob do really well in your mind?
Baylor he's a game manager. He's the most consistent guy in the field. When he comes out, you know what he's going to get, and you've seen it in the last 2 years every time he goes out and plays. He's always ready to go, and he knows what he's doing, and he demands the field and controls it really well. And then Jake's out there. He makes plays, man. He's one of the most exciting young freshmen, playing quarterback, that I've seen since I've been at BYU, of all the freshmen that come through. He plays like he's 3 years beyond his age and experience, and he's a fun player to watch.
It's always fun to have a dude that told Alabama no, right? That's pretty cool. Give me the dynamic in that room, because you guys balance competitiveness to be the guy, and being the quarterback at BYU is awesome, right? Like, that's a massive, awesome opportunity. But you also want chemistry among you because the backups help in that process in the game, right? So what's that like in that room?
Off the field, we're just a bunch of dudes that have been hanging out for years, I think we're good friends off the field, and it's come with the years and time spent in that room. But as we've seen before, and it happens often in college football, you're always going to need more than one quarterback, unfortunately. So it happens. We've been through it the last 3 years. And so I think just with that mindset, everyone's locked in and competitive on the field, but off the field, I think it just comes natural. Everyone in that room are a bunch of good guys, good people. So, it's a good vibe in there.
We're talking to Jaren Hall on BYU Sports Nation. Growing up, some people called me Jaren, so I feel like we're connected in that way. We need to start a podcast or something. What's the minimum amount of time you would need to find out you're the guy and be ready for Arizona?
It could be a month in advance. It could be a minute in advance. For me, every rep I take on and off, whether I'm in or on the sideline, is prepare for the first game, when we're practicing. So it doesn't really matter. I'm going to treat it as if I'm going to be on the field September 4th, and that's all I know how to do.
How much of a run threat do you want to be? Because you have an excellent skill set with that, 4.8 yards per carry with sacks, which means you're probably in the 6 yard per carry range when you're not sacked, right? With you want to stay healthy and be able to play if you're the starter.
Our offense is tailored around the receivers we have and the tight ends and running backs getting the ball into their hands. So my job is to do that. So first thing, we're going to be, aggressive, and A-Rod will call the plays as he does. If there's opportunities to make plays and certain things break down, then I'll do it. I always have. But, for me as a quarterback, I'm there to get the ball into my playmakers' hands, and that's first thing for me.
Jeff Grimes and Eric Mateos leave the staff and go to Baylor. We'll see them in October, which will be fun. But Aaron Roderick and Festus Sitakian, former OC Steve Clark, all involved, right? How much different is the offense and the play calls and the names of the calls and whatnot from last year, since Aaron was play calling quite a bit already?
I mean, we called the same plays. We picked up from where we left off last year and the year before. And, every year you kind of evolve and add some things in, take some things out. So, from year one of the new staff, of Kalani's reign, it's changed a little bit, but for the most part, it stayed the same. And this year we'll continue to add some things and fix some things that need to be fixed.
That continuity will be great. And I want to flash back to your second start, which to me was extremely impressive. Aaron Roderick brought it up on Media Day as well. You were pacing for a 400-100 game, which, by the way, there have been like 13 of those in FBS history. Taysom Hill has one. Against Utah State in that first half, you go 200-plus pass. You had 54 yards rushing. Obviously, the concussion and second one takes you out for the rest of the season. What was clicking in that game and have you watched that game to sort of relive like, okay, this is what I can do. I know I can do this successfully.
Yeah, in the offseason, I watched it. Every year I'll go back and look at practices and things. So I watched it, and I think really all it was just confidence from everybody. All 11 guys on the team and the defense. Going into that game, everyone had whoever's back was going to be on the field, and so it was just fun. Everyone's excited. It was a rivalry game, so there's a lot of energy up there in that stadium, and it just clicked. I don't know what exactly it was other than just confidence and knowing our plays and executing, better than the other team did.
What's it like trying to throw the ball around two 6'8", 300-pound tackles in Harris LaChance and Blake Freeland? Those guys are beasts.
That's where my point guard days come in hand, man, navigating around long bodies on the court. So it's fun, man. For me, I'm protected. I'm safe, so 6'9", or 6'10", I'll take that, man. We'll make it work.
How long did you play point guard? How old were you?
Oh, shoot, since I was a little kid. Since I picked up a basketball, quarterback, point guard, just had the knack for throwing the ball,
When did you stop playing basketball?
So high school. So I played all the way through high school and then finished when I went on my mission to play. But I'll still play every now and then. Try to keep the legs in shape, keep the jumper nice.
I heard Neil Pau is the best basketball player on the team. Is this true?
So I've heard. I've yet to play with him.
Oh.
He's never there when I'm with the guys. So
interesting.
It's word of mouth. I know. But I hear he's a baller.
What's it like to be the quarterback on this team with these kind of options at running back and receiver and tight end?
Yeah, I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to at practice. It's stressful, man. It's stressful. You got so many weapons. You want to keep everybody happy, but no, it makes our lives easy. You always got a good option to go with the ball and someone to make a play. So there's good and there's bad with that.
Who's the loudest voice to you about that? Like, hey, your boy's open.
Every single one of them. I think we're pretty good at, as they come off the field, they're, hey, I'm open. It's just like, yeah, I know you were, but, we'll complete it over there. We'll complete it there. You'll get your ball. It'll come. It's fun, man. It's a good time.
See, now that you're married, you don't have like a roommate who's a receiver who that would be awkward with. Two of the men's volleyball players, one the setter and an outside hitter, they said it was awkward. We'd get into fights when we'd go home about stuff. You don't have to worry about that, which is good.
That's true. I just got to worry about keeping my wife happy. So,
describe to me what you've envisioned, if you have. I imagine you have. It'll be like to run out against Arizona with this group this year, with the crowd.
Electric, man. I mean, we're the greatest fan base in the world, of any sport. So to feel like a home game, I'm sure. And I think about it every night before I go to sleep, strapping up for the first game. And I'm excited. I'm ready to go. So hopefully, it works out when that day comes. But I'm just excited to be with the guys and to take the field when that time comes.
What do you want people to know about you that they don't already know, Jaren?
Shoot, man. I hate these questions. Let me get back to you on that one. How about that?
We'll have time.
Next interview. I'll be ready.
We'll have time. Jaren, I appreciate the time, man. Best of luck with everything.
Appreciate it, Spencer. Thank you. Or Jarom. Let's call you Spencer.
You're good. Jarom and Jaren. We're going to start a podcast. It's all good.
Always Spencer and Jarom. It needs to be Jarom and Spencer sometimes. You know what I mean?
All good. All good.